how are you? Here we are. So this is Tuesday and we have a new live together. And as you know, now that following again my lives on YouTube, on my channel, we're gonna sketch again cars together, trying to make a nice experience, to have mostly to have some fun together. And also, I would like to remind you that if you are new, subscribe, put your like. If you are not new, you already subscribed, put your like, because we really need a lot of your likes to push this video and this channel to get much better. First of all, how are you? How was your week last week? Your weekend? I really hope it went well. Mine was pretty good. I was very happy to watch the MotoGP Grand Prix. So that one was really nice. Very nice Bezzecchi. It was very good against Mark Marquez, even if Marquez is just God in this year. And then nothing special. Doing few sketches that I did not publish, and thinking what I could have done this time with you on next Tuesday. So here we are in Tuesday. It is Tuesday, and I was thinking I always sketch with you about, teaching about how you can make a nice car sketch, sketching starting from a box, because it's a very easy way, to nail down your perspective, your wheels, and then play with that, trying to sculpting, sketching on the box and transforming your box into something that is much more interesting, especially into a nice car, which is your car sketch, your car design. But today I would like to show you what I call a freestyle that is not really tied inside a box, and we don't start with a box, simple box in perspective, but we're gonna try to do some funky freestyle and see what can come out. This is also a way for us to discover, how with this freestyle we can push our creativity and find even imagine to sketch. It's a nice way, to amplify the possibilities of doing some different things and find new ideas in sketching cars. So what is important when we do the freestyle, of course, it's we start from nothing in a very free way, but we always have to be sure that we always follow the basic rules of sketching, which is a perspective, how we place the wheels in perspective, how we do some line quality, and how we can really, play with these shapes, or this shape that we are trying to sketch, so that we can get something into it, so that we can see inside the shape something, coming out, like a newborn idea, and take advantage of that to develop it. All right, so first of all, I would like to say hello to Mr. 11GIOW Fly 22 that left a message. All right, so hello. Thank you very much for being here. I know that there are 6 people right now connected, so I hope you're gonna have a good time with me. Put your like if you did not do it yet. As I said at the beginning, it will help a lot, this the algorithm from YouTube, to make sure that this video can go through much easier. All right, so I guess now it's 6 p.m. 15 minutes, so it is time to sketch. I would like also to remind you that you can ask questions. So I have my board here, so I hope that the line it's okay, that we are always live, because sometimes I see that I am frozen. I hope that it's going to be okay. I think internet is a little bit it is a little strange, So I will keep on. I will keep the live. I hope that it's not gonna frozen too many times. I change camera, as you can see. This is my top camera, and I will change camera. So let's see what happens. Here we go. So this is our top camera, and I will sketch. I will start sketching. Okay. So I hope you can see very clearly on my display. I see that everything is working fine. All right, so what does it mean when we say let's do some freestyle sketching? I'll give you an example. Okay, I'll sketch with a pen this time. Okay, a lot of people sketch with pen, I know. Mainly I sketch always with pencil, this one, but this time I will sketch with my pen. All right, so when we do freestyle sketching, means I do shapes, and inside those shapes I try to look for something that can become really useful or that can be developed in terms of design. All right, okay, so let's see. Let's say that I make an ellipse, and then I make another one. Now I made that ellipse. I hope you can see it because I'm drawing very light, of course, at the beginning as usual. Now I know that I put that ellipse right in the center, but I can just put that ellipse a little bit more in the back, like this one. So let's, so if I do that, if I start sketching the lines like that, I can see that I have one perspective line there and another one is there. Can you see? So if I have that, I might have my center line there. So this is a very quick sketching, of course, and then we'll try to make it better. This is just to start getting some some shapes. So if I have my two lines, my perspective lines like that, I can imagine, something like that. So I put my shadow. You see, and right away we have a sort of a sketch. Now this is not a design. I don't even know what it is, but it's a beginning. And I would like you to understand that when you are searching for an idea, you don't want to be right away on details, very precise. You don't care. First of all, what we're looking here is really proportions. I mean, is this nice? To be honest, this is not very nice. Maybe this area it's not bad. Here I still don't know. I like this idea here. This I like, so I make that a little bit stronger. So on the other side I should have the same thing. And then of course this area is not good yet, so let's make it better. Maybe it's better like that. So now proportion is a little bit better, okay? And if I want to start understanding a little bit more, I take a marker, a dark marker. It doesn't matter which one. Okay, I'm using a green now, which is not really my favorite color. And I try just to see how what I can do already now to get a sort of idea to blocking the shape and try to see if it's worthwhile something or it's useless. So let's say that this is my my reflection on the glass, and here I have my reflection on my windshield. Okay, so now we can see a little bit better. Now I can say that I have a shape. It's a sort of an SUV. It could be a four-door. I still don't know the sections, the body side, but here there is something interesting because I have those two elements that are more outside and the central part, it's in between, you see? We can sketch more like that so it's more obvious. Ciao Robao, should initial sketches be included in the portfolio? Yes, but only the best ones. So I agree, I always say in my portfolio videos on my channel, when I give advices, always don't forget your sketches, don't forget. And I would like also to let you know that after my sketching, we will go through one of my sketchbooks, okay? And I will show you some quality sketches that you can include in your portfolio, especially at the beginning of every project, to make sure that people that will look at your sketches will understand how you think, which is extremely important. Okay, so this is the first thing I did. All right, so let's try to refine a little bit more this idea, okay? So to do that, I take my favorite Canson marker paper because it's a little bit transparent, okay? And I will use this one now to keep on sketching and trying to fix what I did. And this time I will use my pencil. Ciao Bimo! Yes, it's been some time. You are doing well. Yes, thank you very much. I'm doing well. I hope you are doing also very well, that your vacation went really well, like mine. Okay, so now the idea, as we said, it's to have this element here, and to have the same element, of course, also on the other side. So it's something like that. And then now look what I'm doing. Now I'm really fixing, the mistakes I made before. Try to get something that it's a little bit better balanced. Okay, so you see now we are starting to get something different that has better proportion. I take this off. So you working in retail this summer, sketching cards on lunch break. All right, bravo. Hey Vedant, good evening. Hope you're doing well. Yes, thank you very much. I'm doing really well. Guys, don't forget to put the likes on this video. I really need them. Thank you. So if I do that, you know, I'm starting to get an interesting shape. Here maybe we'll make it a little bit more round. You see? Which is better. And then here, as you can see, I'm trying to get here something like the hood is lower than the side fenders, you know, to create something different. So I can put a little bit of shadow just to see. You know, we need that just to get an idea of the general proportions, you know, also my wheel well. As you can see, this is really quick sketching because the objective is not to do a nice illustration, is to look at ideas. We are watching and trying to find ideas. So now I can say that this is pretty much, you know, basic shape here, just a simple cylinder, but in this area is different. You see? That's my section there. So I'm trying to throw down few sections so that I can get a better control of what I'm doing and starting to take some decisions, you know. So what do I keep? What do I throw away? For example, this is not nice, you see? It's too round for the rest of the body. So this is not good. Maybe we should just be a little bit more like that, you see? Maybe that way it's better. So this means that here also we have a change. You know, in this area we have a nice change of surface. Okay, so hey Patriots Custom, ciao. How are you? I'm very happy that you are back. Okay, so now let's watch this against the light, you see? Okay, I cannot show you, but I'm watching it against the light to see if I did something really bad in perspective. So far, so good. Okay, so now what I want to do, I want to be concentrated more on this front end, because this front end could give some really nice satisfaction. So let's say that I have something that is more like that, you know, like a V shape. And then I have this side that this time it's a little bit round, you see, like a boat. Is this better? I don't know. maybe not. So I put the other pillar. So is this better? You know? It's strange here. Maybe this should be more over here. This should be longer. You see, when we are looking for shapes, new intersections, sometimes you get something cool. Like this one was not bad, but this one, this V shape, it's not working. So it's not good. So let's try something different here. Mino, what is the ideal paper weight for overlay? Robao, is this one. Canson, marker paper. This is an A4. I use A4 because it's easier for my life. But you can find also a bigger size if you want. Mino, must get over my fear of running a good sketch and trust the process. Will you use markers today? Yeah, we'll use markers later on, yes. Vedant, if you don't mind me asking, how do you get in art and design? Well, Vedant, I wrote an ebook about myself, about my little story, okay, that you can find at lulu.com, how I became a car designer, but there is also some videos in which I talk about my experience. So I cannot tell you everything here, but basically, since I was very young, I had this idea. I liked cars, you know, and little by little, because I was kind of good in sketching, in drawing people, you know, stuff like that. I start sketching, try to sketch cars when I was very young, and then little by little I did everything I could to be, you know, to become better, to improve. So I hope that you can still see me because I looks like I'm frozen on my display. I don't know. You tell me, huh? Please tell me, write down if you can see me or if you see me frozen. Because today I have some issues with internet. I like this shape here, you know? Maybe just keep it simple, you know? Maybe this is the best, you know, the best thing to do. The frame is a little jagged. Yeah, I know that there was a problem. Alors, parameter of diffusion, état de flou. It says that in 97 Renault concept vibe. You know, it says that the flow of my internet is excellent, so I don't know what to do and what to say. I'm sorry, guys. I cannot do anything. Anyway, let's see. Yeah, it is a little bit 90s. Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's because of my age. Okay. You know what? Let's keep on trying something. Ciao, Utkarsh. How are you? You guys, I hope you can see well because on my display, which is from my telephone, I cannot see anything. It's blocked. So wait just a second, okay? Please. I'll do again. Yeah, now it's okay. It was frozen on my telephone. All right. So now it's okay. Hey, Patriots. Nice design. Thank you. But now we try to do better. Huh? I'll try to make it better. First of all, in my opinion, what is really strange is that the windshield is too close to this edge. So maybe I should start putting this a little bit backward and not make a 4-door and make a 2-door car, you see? So if I do that, so that's, look, now I'm trying to go again freestyle. I don't want to be too concentrated on the front end. I just want to see what's gonna happen here. I don't know why, but I have a vibe, as Mino said. You see, if I make something that is a little bit more geometric, try to play with that, you know, maybe something interesting can come out, and then just make that more like that. You see, sometimes when you simplify things, then it's better. Okay, Patrick. I'm thinking to do master in car design. What do you think about it? A good choice or not? Okay, as a product design student, you can do, of course, you can do your master in transportation design. The only thing I would do if I were you, I would exercise a lot car sketching, because Patriots, you know, when you are in product design, it's different. It's difficult to split, you know, to switch from one to another because of the mental approach, mental design approach. So I suggest you to work hard on your sketching and make then an entry portfolio, you know, that can be strong enough for an admission to master program. All right. So minor axe going over there, minor axe going over there. So now what's gonna happen here? Let's do this. Okay, let's say that we have a more structured front end with those sides that are a little bit more poetic. Let's see if this contrast can be nice. Then I can, we can make a back that is like that. Playing with the contrast. Me, love the slab designs that we are around in 2000. Yeah, it's mostly Cadillac. Cadillac used to do that, and I really like that. Cadillac, to me, Cadillac's design, concept design of that period was really, really nice. So what's gonna happen here? So I'm starting to sketch a little bit my reflection. Okay, so here now it's a classic, because it's much more rigid here, then the reflection will be a little different than those that are more liquid, you know. Then of course this lower part. A little bit of shadow on the ground that helps always to, to place the car. Stares at the new Testarossa. Oh, even Ferrari look robotic. The emotion designs like the 360 430 were something else. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Utkarsh, it's true. Although I feel Italian car design peaked in the 90s and 2000. Yeah, nowadays even. Yeah, exactly. I was reading your comments. Alright, so now that I did that, let's sketch some lights, okay? So let's imagine that here I have my LED DRL light, my light signature. You see? So we have already a nice detail that is not that bad. It's starting to come together. One day I'll meet you just to have a nice lunch. Yeah, why not? With pleasure. They could use consulting from the older designers, seriously. Thanks. And then we have also to include the main full LED block, So where do we put it? Now here we have the reflection. Here we cannot do that because we have body, so it must be in this area somewhere. So let's say that we have just a simple, very simple block. Here. Maybe it's not the best, but at the moment, let's keep it that way. You know, it's a way to understand, to move on, and then of course all those details we can always change them. You know, we can always do that. Now here we have our B pillar, and this time it's going to be, the section is going to be very simple. You see? And of course, here we have our other door cut, the front door cut. That this time it's gonna be a little bit different because here there is a change of the shape. You see this part. Let's make this a little bit more. You see, at the end I'm kind of drawing almost everything, you know. Let's do a little bit of sketching, you know, wheel design, the rims, just very geometric, you know. And then we can, you know, we can imagine here the holes for, you know, the rest of the design. After we're gonna put some markers there to show better. You see, something like that. It looks okay. I mean, it's not special, but is they could. Okay, let's see what Utkarsh just wrote. Is Autodesk Alias a necessary requiring transportation design nowadays? Let's say that people that work, designers that work on Alias, are very well appreciated because today the time to market is so short that when you have a designer that is able to sketch and then make its own Alias model, that's fantastic. Even if it's just a sketch model, that will help a lot to speed up the process. It's not mandatory, but it's an incredible plus if you have it. Okay? No, I'm not gonna talk about the Clio because I am from Renault, so I cannot, I mean, you cannot ask me to talk about it. I will not. I never talk about job. Sorry. Try to understand me. All right. So now I am sketching some, you know, dashboard. screen, classical stuff. With a little bit of steering wheel, just a little. Okay, so now let's make the back wheel. So we said, here we have this shape, which is not that bad. I know that this type of stuff on the wheels we should do it much more, more with more attention. But I like to be sketchy, so I don't care, to be honest. And then we have the triangle, the interior triangle. Trying to think about the 3D that we have here. That's why I'm sketching that way. Okay, so all right, so now what do I do? Well, now it's the moment we have to try, to put some color, a little bit of color we need, so that we start visualizing a little bit what we have here. So now I have to choose for some colors. And I will be looking into, cold colors. I don't want to do a rendering, it's just a quick sketching. Thank you, Imran, thank you. Hey guys, if you want to offer me a coffee, you have always the thank button for this free live that I do for you. You can offer me a coffee, a beer, or even a pizza. One time one of you offered me a nice pizza. Got really a nice tip. That was really very well appreciated. Okay, so you know what I do? I take this off. I put this underneath. So just in case we need to absorb a little bit of the markers. And let's start. So I will use a very light, I show you a very light blue, very ultra light, 00. It's a frost blue. Of course, using markers, we go from lightest to darkest, okay? So let's see. I try. With the pen, it's not really. It's a little bit bleeding, but it's okay, don't worry, I don't care, it's just a sketch, let's not forget. Maybe at the end it's gonna be nice anyway. Okay, so this is the first star. Let's put a little bit here too. A little bit, just after we're gonna go in there with the other marker, don't worry. And here I just Yeah, like that. Now I'll try to build up, I will build up some values, okay? Always with the same marker. You see, I go fast, huh? Because the marker is new, and so the tendency is that it's going to bleed. Okay, a little bit there, also. Okay. Now I change, and I will use this one, B12. So first of all, let's try. This is too light, it won't work. So I don't use this one. Let's see B23. If it's a little bit darker, yes it is. Yeah, you see, now I can use this one. So this one is B23, all right? So I'm making the reflections, you know, the darkest spot of the reflections, you see? So here, here, and then on the belt line, because here we really want to hit a little bit darker. And underneath here, because here we have a nice shadow area, you see? So now I did that, I just want to make sure that in this area, in this area, in this area, they look very similar. Make it darker there, and also here. So a little bit darkness there. Here too. You see, it feels a little bit hollow, just a little. Okay, now that I did that, I have the number 24, which is still a little bit darker. You see? So now we can play on the reflection to make it really dark. You see? Now we are starting really, you know, to play with values to make sure that it's becoming really very contrasty, with a lots of contrast. Let's not forget here that that's a reflection. And let's not forget here. here. Okay, it's coming. Now, did you see that here I did not put any color yet? But the reason is very simple, because I am thinking of a cold light coming from this part, and therefore we will use another color there. Let's see if we can get something more special. Now we'll use a B37. Now we're going really dark, look. Oops. Almost lost my marker. Okay, now what I will do, how to reduce the strokes that happen when strokes overlap. Uh, I know it's not very easy, to be honest. Sometimes you have to be a little bit, you must have a little bit of luck, you know. Wait just a second. Just a second, because I am fixing my display in the right position. Okay, here we are. All right, so now what I will do, I can use black, I can use number 10, I can use number 8 or number 9. Now, first I look number 8, cool gray, okay? Number 8. Let's see what happens. Okay. You see, now we got the reflections on the side glass, on the windshield, and now I will apply also my shadow. then we can do, now we can sketch the holes inside, you know, our little shapes. And once we do that, we understand even better how is this rim design. You see? Now it's easier. And then we can also do front tire. So here it's gonna be kind of easy, everything is gonna be really dark. You see? Now you can see the car. Now we have no doubt. We got a car. And interesting thing is that we can understand the whole thing. Now I'll take the black and I will just make sure that what is in transparency, it's perceived transparent, you know? So what is really dark has to be dark. So the black will help us in this type of task. And then on the reflection, we always want to make sure that we have some nice reflection, you know. Okay, now what are we missing? We are missing the warm and cool light. So for the cool light, I will use something funky, this green, look. This green YJ41. Let's check. Oh, very funky. Let's check like that. Yeah. So you see that green there? It looks nice. And I'm going to put it there too. And a little bit there too. So now we have our cool light area. And for the warm, we will use a very pale yellow. For example, we have this one, Y11. Let's test it. Yeah, why not? So very quickly, I just use it this way. And also here. So now we have a sketch that has warm and cool light. Now, what is left to do? First of all, we have to clean up a little bit lines. Okay, so that's what I will do with the pencil this time. So I will just this pencil is not good. I will use this one. Okay, so let's do it. You see, cleaning up helps a lot to understand better the overall shape. And after this cleanup with this pencil, I will use my white pencil to add few reflections before putting a little bit of highlights. Because the highlights, it's always very important to do. Okay, so now I'll take the white. Okay, rendering on Photoshop feels much easier than real life with markers. Yeah, it is easier, of course, but what is important for me is that you guys learn the basics. After, it's normal that you do and repeat what I'm doing here on paper on Photoshop. The problem is a lot of people work Photoshop without understanding all the steps, the warm and cool light, the focal point, the composition on page, mixing colors. And what do they do at the end? They do all grayish, very grayish basics Photoshops that look very flat. Sketching with bystanders looking always results. The time mirrors and no door handles. No. Okay, so we have one line there, one line here, then we have line there, a little bit of, strange reflections. You see? Okay, so now the last thing that I have to do is the highlight, and we are going to do right now. So I take my number 3, okay, my number 3 brush, I take my white gouache, and let's put those highlights very quickly. So when I put the highlights, I always think, where is my focal point? And my focal point is going to be more or less in this area, okay? Here. So You know, I want that highlight here, it's really blended. And then the last touch will be here. Okay. Alright, I go and wash my brush, alright? Under water, unless it's gonna get very sticky. So look at it, okay? Alright, so now if we want to improve this, okay? What's the white ink brand? Could never find local hobby stores. White ink. White ink, we don't have ink, it's gouache. This is gouache, it's acrylic. Acrylic white matte paint, okay? Now, if we want to make this one a little bit more special, I take an orange, okay? And I am thinking that I have, you know, the Californian sunshine, typical Californian sunshine. So what do I do? Well, I go there and just I put a little bit of that, you know, in the air where it's more or less the horizon, okay, the horizon, because I know that that's where the sun it's coming down, you know. And therefore we'll have a little bit there too. Very light. You see? Now it's already becoming something else. We can put a little bit here, here. You see? It becomes something really cool. Now I have that green, you see? That green we put here I have also in pencil. This is a Prismacolor. Now let's do the same thing. I had to wash my electric pencil sharpener. I had to clean it up because now it's kind of stuck, you know. So here, you see, now it's better because it's stronger. You see, with that green, look how nice it is now. It became really cool. And we can put a little bit down here. because this part is facing the left area where we have this cool light coming in, you know. And then I use my pencil also to do a little bit of, you know, outline, because it helps. Helps there, you know. Okay, I am finished now. I'm really finished now. So today is 16/09/25. So I hope you like this demo. We started from a very basic funky shape, which was this one. And then little by little, we went through some experiments. And then we landed on this one. Now, I don't know if it's good, it's bad. It's not very important. What is important is that we got, you know, the inspiration to do something that looks pretty good. I want to just put a little bit of red here. So we have a little bit of backlight indication. All right, so now I will change camera. All right, guys, here I am. So I hope you liked it, you enjoyed. If you want to offer me a coffee, you know how to do it. You have the thanks button, okay? And put your like. Don't forget to put your like, it's very important. If you are new and you discover the channel today, subscribe. You know, you never know. You might like what we do. So here there is the final work. Let's do this way. This is the final work, you know, having fun together today again. And I really hope that I can see you next Tuesday, always around the same timing. Okay, today I started a little bit later because I was in a meeting and it lasted a little bit longer, and therefore I could not start at 6 p.m. That's why. All right, thank you very much. I hope you had fun, and see you next time. Okay, I wait for you for next Tuesday. Try to sketch, never stop. If you want to re-watch this video, well, you can click again, or tomorrow when it will be online after YouTube, you know, that makes its own process that sometimes is kind of long. All right, thank you very much. Ciao, bye bye.